written in our nature. We call an individual into existence, and when that individual comes, I make no apologies for what I'm about to say.
Rough, rugged, and real, you're on standstill to obey your case, so let the man build. Words of rapture that you have to capture, and I just slapped ya with a handful of literature. This dope, deaf, fresh, hype, choice, smooth, and raw. Rappers I replace, rub out, and erase. Competition, you must be on freebase, smoking or joking, bound to be broken. Now get your damn hands off the mic that I'm choking. Cause I got a stranglehold. You're still cold on parole for the role you stole. Rhymes that you yell out, but you did sell out. Crossed over, lost over here, now get the hell out. I'm not a pop star, rock and roller, I'm a rebel, blessed, able to hold a mic like a hammer, and drop grammar, treat a rapper like a wrestler, and body slam them. Those who dispute get treated just like a prostitute. They get the boot and played like a flute, so just play mute. Don't even whisper, open your mouth to speak, and I'ma dish your ragtag and dog. Put you in the morgue because you're petty confetti and not ready to rock steady. In other words, you're half-stepping, tiptoeing, get going, because my weapon is not a 9, a Uzi, or a shotgun. But when it come to hype rhymes, I got one, just like the album is still the same. Long live the cane, ain't a damn thing changed. I still get ill and kill at will and build the skill to fill your grill, so don't tell me you're real. We sample beats, you sue and try to fight us. Man, you still be home with arthritis. If we didn't revive and bring back alive old beats that we appreciated, you wouldn't survive. You'd be another memory to us. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. So understand the way that I live, that's positive. And the message I got to give is a benefit for you and me. I'm talking about P-E-A-C-E. The chosen one that has turned the new leaf. I got gold teeth and they don't chew beef. No pork on my fork, strictly fish on my dish. The cane fallen victim, sucker you wish. I flow like water, slaughter, put you out of order. Floored ya. Rappers are ragging and tagging and snagging and bragging to be on the bandwagon, but I'm the last dragon with the knack to attract the pack, so just get back. I'm young, gifted, and black. And just go with the flow, you
yes,
know?
Once again, I want to welcome everybody to another edition of Black Poet Matters. This is our virtual poetry event that we do once again here on Bassment, presented by Bassment Entertainment and UniverSouLove Productions every month as we approach a 1-year anniversary. Got one more to go, and then our 1-year anniversary will be coming up real soon. But we thank everybody for tuning in consistently every month and sharing it with your family and your friends. And just so at this point, we just invite you all to sit back and relax and enjoy another edition of Black Poet Matters. We have some auspicious poets that will be performing this evening for this Memorial Day weekend. We're going to memorialize, we want to memorialize some of our own soldiers that fought through the struggles. Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King, and many, many other soldiers that we've had, even to George Floyd. The 1-year anniversary of his passing was a few days ago as well. So many, many soldiers we've lost in this struggle, but just memorializing them once again for this Memorial Day weekend to help us to continue to propel and move forward. So just to give you a brief understanding, for those that are new, what the Black Poet Matters is about, this is a celebration and showcase of the Black poetic voice from poets of the African Diaspora who are conscious and brilliant. It is also a celebration of Black music where our souls meet song, sound, and rhythm. So this evening, we're going to present to you Black poets who will be dishing the truth of their matters, creating a poetic soundtrack for the times. So once again, with a lot that's going on in the world today, the poets that are bringing the message today will be basically bringing forth the soundtrack for the times. So I'm going to introduce the hosts for this evening. Once again, everybody out there that's listening, whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on Facebook, just also make sure that you, if you're watching on Facebook, like the page. Also hit that notification bell so you can all be notified when we go on, and any notifications or any updates that's going to be going on. If you're watching on YouTube, just make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can get all your updates as well, and also share both to all your family and your friends. So I'm going to introduce the hosts for this evening. They go by the name of Binyamin and Hermina.
Shalom, shalom, Binyamin. Yah's blessings to all those who are contributing tonight with their great poetic voice. Also, give a warm hand clap for my hosting with me as well, Hermina. You want to take the floor?
Okay, thank you so very much, and thank you for inviting me and hosting the 11th season of Black Poets Matter. As I was formally introduced, I am your host, Hermina Marcellin, and I will send it over to Binyamin to introduce the first performer.
Thank you. Again, God's blessings to all. Also, for those tuning in online, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, thank you for taking the time out and giving these poets the due attention and respect that they need. May the Most High bless each and everyone's words. With no further ado, we're going to go ahead and get this event started. So let's tap in. The first magnificent poet that is going to take place is going to be Brother Lavan Robinson. Lavan is a poet and writer from Philadelphia who now resides in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. He is a 13-year veteran of the military and has a 34-year-old son. Lavan has been writing for over 40 years and currently has 3 books of poetry on Amazon and Kindle books now. He loves poetry because it chose him. No further ado, give it up for my brother, Lavan Robinson.
Thank you. Thank you.
La, la, la. Won't you share my world? Won't you share my world? Won't you share my world? Don't just stand around and say, I made your life complete. And how I make you feel each day whenever our lips meet. You say you really love me, so don't hesitate to come and share my world. Please, won't you share it? I gave you all the love I had and gladly give you more. Found a way for us to walk right through the door, and everlasting love that's made for you and me, and it's reality. Can't you see? You placed the seed of love in me and made it grow.
Thank you. I have 3 pieces. The first one is called Rainbow of Humanity. The agenda of humanity should be when one does well, all does well. We all know that many good intentions have paved the road to hell. What's the problem with doing good by all colors of mankind? Each represents the rainbow of humanity and the essence of self that many choose to seek and eventually find. The more the conscious eye sees, the more it's slushes in its greed. Nothing good comes from the selfishness. In others' pain and misery, they find a happiness and bliss. Debating what is right for the citizens of this embattled nation, while their souls fester in a stagnant state, what you see perpetrated is manifested through the party of origin of delegation. They truly enjoy what they be doing as we, the citizens, continue to suffer while struggling to survive by the hands of those who deny, and deny. Basic necessities to get, you have to give up your soul. After they receive it, they'll feed it to the beast so strong it'll grow and grow. Playing off humanity, ignorance, and its widely known fear and incompetence. Instead of positively promoting love, peace, unity, and goodwill among men all over the world, the sound of the Big Bang, a boom, is what's disturbingly heard. The outbreak of violence is at an all-time high. Little do we, humanity, know that attacks against one means attacks against all. Together we can, against it, take a no more approach and stand, or together from the point of violence, we can continue to suffer and fall. Second piece, I was inspired by my queen who sent me a video that was powerful. So this one is in reference to what she sent me, and she knows what video is. It's called Relinquish Its Grips. The white man's reign and rule on this earth has been a poisonous mixture of racism, hatred, prejudice, and equality in the essence of their brew. All who have drank from this diabolical source have committed violence against humanity of all diversity and colors with little or no remorse. What you see happening now is a result of hate running loose and rapid, embroiled in the undying acceptance and implementation of the Willie Lynch system of control. A society that has vehemently and solely predicated on an insane ideological beliefs and agenda of mind control. Continue to feed them to become physically strong, but weak in the mind by brainwashing the psyche that of the origins, delving in the dark lies of the sublime. It's all about the manifestation of mass information and lies to truly lessen the validity and values of the powerful soul within a surface that lies. This is our hell here on earth, and this is just the beginnings of the ultimate end. Humanity must realize the deep bad trouble we're all in. Is our destruction what we're daily striving for and keep pretending not to know how or exactly when? Investing millions and millions in weaponry of mass destruction while the embittered inhabitants of this world are suffering and coming up greatly short with the excess of nothing. Their mindset is never going to change. Before that even comes into fruition, on that thought and action, the bomb will be dropped on it time and time again. The refusal to admit and address the issues that have been based on a boldly delivered platform of malicious intent successfully divided us, bring to light the notion of total annihilation or bust. Why must I, we, or any human live under these devious and excruciating circumstances that's forced upon humanity? When we voice our displeasure, then we are dehumanized, made to be less than, and put intensely under the system of injustice and its scrutiny. Power is their powerful aphrodisiac, and control is like a fine, tasty cognac, infused with non-emotional humane attachment, stimulated by the desires of forbidden and evil tact. It's time for them to relinquish their tight grip and control, to allow love and its beautiful and benevolent blessings to heal humanity, precious and damaged psyche and soul. We can continue to wake up every day to the senseless mess that we all both knowingly and unknowingly partake of. We can too come to terms with our horrible behavior on the blueprint of the past and accept our beauty and diversity. Embrace the new narrative of growing strong and vibrant as one humanity, spiritually, physically, and mentally. The last one is reality. The parallel and difference between reality and fantasy are separated by a very intricate and thin line. Its basic simplicity can fool or trick the conscious mind. Many to escapism gets lost in the darkness and time where growth can become stalled. How things are within the world today, many don't hesitate to use it to get away from it all. No matter how far in our minds we try to run, there's no place for us to hide under the bright sun. They go about life with no enthusiasm or hope. Every step they take forward backwards, they trip and fall on a well-laid slippery slope. Life is what you or how you perceive it. Although it can get hard and uncaring sometimes, keep a positive attitude and don't give up or quit. Keep believing in yourself and your aspirations and dreams, knowing that to make them come true, you must have faith, perseverance, and put in the vital and necessary work too in your everyday reality. In peace, and thank you, and God bless.
Great job. Let's show our brothers some love. Let's show our brothers some love.
Very good. Well done. Good. Thank you so much. And with what was just said, we will welcome Diana Beskin. Diana was born in Trinidad and Tobago of Barbadian parents, an award-winning poet, and a Voice of Color Poetry Fellowship awardee, a global ambassador who uses her platform to educate the masses through her spoken word. Please let us welcome Diana Beskin.
Greetings. This is Diana Beskin. I will be doing two pieces. The first piece is called White Privilege. White privilege on full display for the whole world to see that fateful insurrection day. White privilege ain't nothing new. White privilege is rooted in violence, is what they do. White privilege kidnapped me from Africa and for 400 years kept me enslaved. White privilege bought and sold me and whipped me and made me behave. White privilege used religion to sanction its superior dominion. With trinkets, white privilege tricked the indigenous people to close their eyes. White privilege agenda was to capture their earthly prize, placed a Bible in their hand, and by the time their eyes were open, white privilege owned all this here land. White privilege have economic systems in place to keep its knee in the necks of my people of the Black and brown race. White privilege made me ride the back of the bus, and that same white privilege holds me down if I made a fuss. White privilege had signs for years that read, whites only. Now 3 words, Black Lives Matter makes white privilege angry. White privilege can pull me over for jogging or driving while black, and if I don't call him sir, I could get a bullet in my back. White privilege occupy the highest office in the land, and from that pulpit, white privilege did give the verbal command. White privilege incited these domestic terrorists. Stand by and stand back. Did not tell them to desist. White privilege showed no fear for the law. A legally armed hero being chased by white privilege is what I saw. White privilege responded to the marching order, invaded the Capitol, hunting down the vice president and the speaker. White privilege was heard chanting loudly for their murder, erected a gallows it was intent on hanging. White privilege, hateful symbols it was seen displaying. White privilege, like frat boys to get out a party, showed its face maskless during a pandemic while executing its destructive spree. White privilege tried to invalidate my vote, calling it illegal. White privilege sought to discard those votes of America's black and brown people. White privilege full of resentment because black and brown votes dared to elect the first black female vice president. White privilege, not economically deprived, sought to topple the democracy. Why? Because white privilege lied. White privilege, white privilege, I have to go, I lost my place here. One moment, please. My computer. White privilege white privilege tried to invalidate my vote, calling it illegal, sought to discard the votes of America's black and brown people. White privilege full of resentment because black and brown votes dared to elect the first black female vice president. White privilege, not economically deprived, sought to topple the democracy. Why? Because white privilege lied. White privilege allowed a wannabe dictator to torture us for so long, and white privilege still think it ain't done nothing wrong. White privilege, after all this carnage and desecration committed, is appreciative pat on the back and calmly out the Capitol door escorted. White privilege, after all these serious infractions against our republic, a democratic nation, white privilege still defending its crazed privileged leader in the Capitol. White privilege is pleading for a pardon on its own treasonous behavior. End peace. I will do another piece called Blacks versus Racism. It ain't blacks against white. Nah, that has never been the fight. It's blacks against capitalism, the root cause of racism. Over 400 years of a greased economic pole, and you wonder why America has a stain on her soul. It's not black against white. That cannot be the fight. It's blacks versus chauvinism that makes us suspicious of discrimination, covertly or overtly in the justice system. Black against white? No, not the fight cannot be right. It's black against the racist history, the lynchings, the castrations, the medical experiments at Tuskegee, and you wonder why we hesitate to line up to get vaccinated. It ain't black against white. Don't be confused. That was never the fight. That terrible legacy of slavery, now DNA ancestry. Hey, cuz, we might be family. It's not about black versus white. That will never be the fight. The world has a kaleidoscope of races, ain't that right? Blacks are against voter suppression and redlining, and any attempts to make it harder for black people to be voting. It's not about black versus white. That ain't why Gettysburg was the scene of a gruesome fight. Blacks do not want separatism. We are against chauvinism and any kind of racism. What blacks have always wanted is egalitarianism and peace.
Let's show our sisters some love. Let's show our sisters some love.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining. Well, We're going to keep this show moving along. I hope all those who are viewing online are enjoying themselves. Don't forget to subscribe and tune into all these poets. They have books, they have a lot of works that's out there. We're going to keep this going with our next poet, Mr. Stacey Williams from Newark, New Jersey, hip hop sci fi geek. Everything he writes is to glorify God. He has a book called Sneakers on the Cross, a book of poems about convention with the streets and God. He has been on college radio stations and has also been on the New York radio station WBLS. With no further ado, let's give it the floor to my man, Stacey Williams.
You can end it, bro. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
All right. Let me know. I could go now. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Everybody, New Jersey is known for its hoods, but from comic books to Star Wars, I love my childhood. Don't get me wrong, I love ladies, but I was science fiction geek. My name was Stacey, but everybody called me Spacey. From Charlie Brown Christmas song to Schoolhouse Rock, I had no time for drugs, because at school, they saw rock. I would get laughed at and every day joked on. How could you be in the robots and spaceships? I said, the same way you smoke the grass that we walk on. They would laugh at me. Stace, this is real. I would say from overdose to drug deals, I'm just tired of us being killed. Some would say, this is just what I got to do. I said, for clothes and sneakers, I just disagree with you. My recording studio was Project Hallways, where I rhymed in my building. Before Dr. Dre and DJ Premier, my favorite producer was John Williams. He made the music for Star Wars, E.T. and Jaws. Can I be bad for a minute? When I was with a girl in the dark, instead of Sade and Mary J., I was listening to the Imperial March. Luke Skywalker and Han Solo were very courageous. My notebook was my camera, where I got courageous. When I learned big words, I would study the definitions and put them inside my stories so that my readers could have vision. To me, some street life was street lies that many got subdued, and death had more souls than the bottom of shoes. My next door neighbor, her mom was a prostitute. She would come over to my house and eat and do her homework until her mother was through. My other classmate was a Scarface fake. The bullet that was meant for him hit his mother by mistake. After about the 10th funeral, I got tired of seeing hell get his glory. Then one day a corpse hit my thoughts and said, Stacey, write our story. I took off my glasses that had the tape in the middle of them. From my faith, I saw my fate was to write stories about them. So many of us have been affected by the wrong that came around us. So this is why I have to tell everybody about us. The end. That's the first one, y'all. The second one, everybody, is about a dream I had one night. The other night, I had a dream. Drastic was the moment. Dr. King rolled over in his grave, and then his casket opened. And as he climbed from out the ground, his hands was filled with dirt. His first concerns was Coretta, his kids, and then the church. He said he rested in peace, but for some reason his joy stopped, and he wanted to take the bus to see what's been up since the boycott. The front seats was empty, but the back amazed me. These kids was dissing Rosa Parks. Hey, yo, her black behind was lazy. And as we got off on the bus, I saw the shock from his mouth. Right across the street from his home was prostitutes in a crack house. We rushed into his home, upset, confused, and tense. but I saw a guy held his family because on their skin was Jesus' fingerprints. For the first time he looked at me, he said, I want you to work with the young because every time I see a drug fiend, I can still feel the bullets from the gun. He said it was still painful and burned him like a gat. He said we used to stay on the streets protesting, but now where's everybody at? So we went to this church. We took our seats in the back row. He didn't recognize Jesse Jackson because he cut off his afro. He thought he'd talk about the Bible or talk about Christ, but all Jesse did was apologize for cheating on his wife. We then went outside. A fight was going on. He tried to break it up. I tried to help him. I couldn't feel it. I was a spirit. I saw him grasp for air, and now the brother's gone. Dr. King got shot again. He had the wrong colors on. The last one, everybody, sarcasm is my weapon. You know, sometimes I get into so many things. What could the hood do to stop this and that? And me and my boys really got into an argument. We couldn't agree on anything. I said, wow, look at this. We all educated. You know, we then went to school. We doing good, but we could not agree with what we could do to get everybody together. So I would see it, everybody. In the sarcasm, I wrote a piece called Bring Back the Ku Klux Klan. You ever have a thought that was bad, but as bad as it still was kind of good, but you couldn't share it because it'd be misunderstood? Like the R. Kelly molesting a minor, he still make millions off his fans. Maybe to bring unity back to the community, we should bring back the Ku Klux Klan. Way before you start screaming and overreact, it's just that once we got our freedom, we went further back. Our ancestors died for civil rights. From trees they hung from ropes. But now when it's an election, we don't go out and vote. By the military police, the school, Black children was escorted. Now by the police, they got to be protected because by other Black children, they get tortured. Rosa Parks got arrested because of where she sat. Now we got a freedom and sit where we want, but now Black bus drivers got to watch their back. The church was a headquarters. The NAACP presence was usual. Now the only time we feel church is on Easter and at funerals. We killed Malcolm. We killed Huey. We buy Black films on bootleg, but we pay to see the gangster movies. But Martin was shot by a white man. That's a true fact. But before he was shot, he was stabbed by a woman who was Black. Medgar Evers got murdered right in his driveway. Now we do drive-bys. We don't care what God say. The Klan taught us well. We kill each other quick. By the way, how many white people inside the Bloods and the Crips? Slavery was wrong. It was our country's worst endeavor. But that was the last time we all stuck together. Bring back the Ku Klux Klan. That's it, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you. Stacey told us all of his business in that first poem, didn't he? You know, and this is the art of storytelling and telling what matters. I would like to introduce our next performer. Please excuse me if I say your name incorrectly. Ruhamah Bahat Yuzari. Ruhamah is a rhythmic expressionist of life. In 2002, Ruhamah's mother asked her to write a poem for her grandmother's birthday, representing 5 generations of grandchildren. Writing the poem for her grandmother triggered Ruhamah's passion for expression, which led to 6 poetry books and a desire to articulate her feelings. Ruhamah shared her poetry at various venues that offered artists a spotlight to share at spoken word events. The Nuyorican, the Bowery Poetry Cafe, Lounge 13, Sugar Shack of Harlem, Brooklyn's Billie Holiday's Restoration, Marcus Garvey, The Middle Passage, Lenox Lounge, Louder Arts Production, and various Israelite events. Ruhamah founded the company Israel Publications in 2002. It has since then published 6 manifestations of wonderfully written text presently ready for purchase. Real life, my how time flies, Psalms of exaltation of the Almighty, segments of love, lust, conflicts, and romance. Welcome to the prayer line and the weaved web. Ruhamah is spiritually connected and gratefully blessed, enjoying the realities of life. Let us welcome Ruhamah Baht, Yisrael, to the platform.
How many bullets? You can't kill me. You can't kill what you can't see. Oh, how you tried to blow my brains out with bigotry. Chopped off my wings so I couldn't fly free and dared me to be me. Took my drum, broke my hands, yanked my roots up right out of the land and riddled my soul with Jesus. You killed the mind with dreams and the heart with desires. You called America, called New York, called California, called Mississippi, or the West. You with your red, white, and blue dress, long, straggly beard, top belly, and soggy eyes, pulling rabbits out of your top hat.
Unmute yourself.
There you go. Am I heard? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will be sharing 3 poems, Prince of the Temple, Make Your Wrong Right, and My Presence. It is written that the Prince of the Temple is at the head of every street. But for every prince on the street corner in our neighborhood, there are 5 cops walking the beat, searching and waiting for a royal prince body to make choking his life out their priority. They get satisfaction from assaulting his precious body so outrageously that the assault goes beyond rage into demonic tendencies. Yes, the sign of the beast. Every move they make is done intentionally and violently. And then to cover the tracks of their chilling victory after they realized through the multitude of gazing eyes that it wasn't done secretly, they claim self-defense to get themselves out of the heat. In the meantime, they secretly anticipate the next interim for another thrilling defeat. This is the beast, evil and raw. It's hard to avoid them because they hide behind the enforcement of the law. They hide behind their uniforms stating our street corner prince are the ones they're trying to conform. But the beast knows that our street corner prince are royalty. That's why their hate is so acute. They developed a complex of inferiority. For centuries, they tried to convince our street corner prince to believe that they are the chosen superior majority, white majority, and our street corner prince, the cursed Black minority. They tormented our street corner prince to make them submit and accept them as a higher authority. But the beasts need to step up to the plate and admit that our street corner prince are Jehovah's chosen people who are blessed with a great heritage, wealth, strength, and superiority. But the beasts are not fools. And if you look at the bigger picture, we're all being used as tools. The beasts have The beast and the prince of the temple have fought for numerous generations, and in the future they will continue to feud until the Almighty ends the street corner prince devastation. The beast knows that our street corner prince won't remain under his control forever. He's familiar with the prince of the temple's history, which means all of his scheme has to be brilliantly executed and clever. He've always known he had a limited time for his increase, and the time is near for it to cease. But the street corner prince disobedience of the laws in its entirety is a reason they're presently living under the beast laws in this society. They brought these punishments on themselves. They are the one to blame. And from the past to present day, they're still ashamed because they cannot deny that their defiance is the reason why their greatness was taken away by the Most High. It was given to the beast to rule over them in their place. And that's the reason the prince of the temple is standing at the head of the street with a look of disgust and defeat upon his face. He had to be taught a lesson. So the beast was allowed to afflict them as punishment for their discretions. But all of the strife the supreme subjected the prince of the temple to won't be in vain, because it is written that the situation will change when Jehovah destroys the beast by ending his power and fame. Because in addition to the prince's chastisement which took his toll, the beast treated the prince of the temple abominably during their control. It's written that their horrific abuse played a major part in the Most High's decision to reverse and discontinue their role. But the Most High promised that he would give his children their land of inheritance. But first, the prince of the temple must prove that they've learned from their experiences. They must praise Jehovah only, become humble, care for the poor, and remain obedient. They must love their sisters and brothers and stop being deviant. They must cleanse their thoughts and temple, convert their lives from sinful indulgence, perversion, confusion to meek, mild, and simple. They must put the Most High first in everything that they do. And then you will know with every fiber of your being that the Most High will come through for you, Yisrael. So while you're standing at the head of the street, make sure your thoughts are pure from your head to your feet, because your entire temple must be cleansed first, because Jehovah keeps his promises. He said he will call all of his children from the four corners of the earth. And in the next transition, things will be different, because every soul will be in part. Jehovah's laws will be embedded in every head and instilled in every heart. So you see, Prince of the Temple, while you're standing at the head of the street, while you're standing at the head of the street, it is a foregone conclusion that you will regain your royal seat. It's in divine order for you to reign on over the beast. So while you're standing at the head of the street, don't lose your vision, because your position as Prince of the Temple was the Most High's decision. When it's time for the Supreme to redesign the laws for future existence, the world will be astounded, because you, the seed of Abraham, will be the first one Jehovah retrieves when the time comes around. You are royalty, Prince of the Temple, Jehovah's namesake, wearing an irremovable crown. And how is that determined? Because it's written. It's written. It's written down in our history, letting us know who Jehovah's chosen people are. It's you and me. The Prince of the Temple at the head of the street, getting his act together to regain his royal seat, ruling over the beast, correcting history. That's the Prince of the Temple, divine destiny, because it's written. It's written. It's written down in our history, letting us know who the chosen people are. It's you and me, one people, one love, one nationality. That we are Jehovah's chosen progeny. Read it, because it's written. Thank you. Okay, now my next poem, I got a little caught up there. You know, I got so excited. I got a little caught up. I was getting ready to mess up a little bit, but forgive me. All right. This one. Now, this poem is named Make Your Wrong Right. They said we got 10 minutes. This kind of long. My girl inspired me, Lauryn Hill inspired me to write this some years ago. Why? There were so many people who suffered and died. When asked about it, the murderers outright lied. They killed numerous women and children with pride. Lord, we are constantly being crucified. I've prayed so much that I'm tongue-tied. Even though I know the answer, I'm still asking the reasons why. Because I'll never forget how they crucified the Israelites. And I'll never forget how they raped our forefathers' wives. I'll never forget how they hung us from the trees of life. And don't you ever forget, for your iniquities, you were sacrificed. There are so many things they disguise right now. There are truths that is silent to sound. There are so many deals made that they hide for the sake of power, money, and pride. They cut our tongues out to prevent us from speaking our native language. They knew if they stripped us of our identity, our culture would deteriorate and our nationality will eventually vanquish. We are mentally captive under Satan's authoritative rules, USA. They were holding truths to keep us stagnated fools, deceptively de-educating us while attending their schools, indoctrinating us to forget everything we knew as cultural, taking the Most High God out of the equation to pledge allegiance to a flag that represents inequality and inhumane persuasion. Amused by their executions on a people no longer proud who were groomed to act like animals, wild and loud. A people conditioned to remain dazed, always in a fog, thinking under a cloud, severed like eunuchs if they were blessed to be well endowed. They keep our truths hidden in secret places, guarded by trained killers to eliminate any dark faces, instructed not to leave any traces, because when truth is exposed, it embraces. The divine spirit hears and judges all cases. Hold on to strength and faith. Every day strive to survive. Pray to separate the hate, to give love to the Most High. There were so much tears shed. We cried and cried because obeying Yah's laws wasn't applied. Worshiping deities caused us to be punished and tried. So how are we gonna fix it? First, we must exercise right and be consistent. We can't reverse the sins that we committed, but we can prepare to circumvent it. Concentrate on it, congregate on it, continue to seek it, because Jehovah's laws are undefeated. It's the pathway to life. Run like a deer to meet it, respectfully greet it. It's our nutritional maintenance. Open up wide when you receive it. Then we would have proven that we've repented and the Almighty God would be proudly represented. It doesn't delight the Most High to enforce our punishment, because y'all will never forget our abominable mistreatment. Y'all will never forget how they executed us whenever they felt to vent. Y'all will never forget how they made us eat our own excrement. And don't you forget how they harbored feelings of resentment. Y'all will never forget how they called us inhumane on the legislate. Y'all will never forget how they experimented on us with animals to consummate. And don't you ever forget that y'all will punish them for their repulsiveness and hate. And don't you forget that the Creator said he'll retrieve us even though we made mistakes, because the Almighty God is merciful, compassionate, and all great. The Most High deserves the best. Remember to thank him for your happiness. Appreciate him for your life and continued success. Praise him for relieving your hardship and stress. Don't wait to pray when your conditions regress, giving the Almighty all of your horror stories when you confess. Remember to glorify the Most High's name and thank Yah when you inhaled his breath. Thank Jehovah for perfect health. That's your true wealth. And cleanse your slate until there are no sins left. Let's strengthen our weaknesses and pass all of Jehovah's tests so the Most High can guide us out of this hellhole of a Babylonian mess. Hallelujah. Oh, I feel that. Yes. Okay, my last one, and I hope I'm not going over. My last one is called My Presence. Why does my beautiful, silky, even-toned, dark chocolate skin make people look at me with disdain when I approach? Why does my natural, long, kinky, textured, lock-rooted hair make others categorize me as a reproach? It is locked on the hair. Why is it that my proud demeanor, integrity, self-assurance make others feel uncomfortable and angry? My flat, wide, flared nose, I had to put emphasis on that, is an attributed physical jewel I proudly inherited from the genes of my ancestry. I appreciate the blood that flows through my veins, for the purity of my originality gives me definition, direction, and purpose for my creativity. Why is it when I speak the truth about my nation's Holocaustic history, others feel that I'm unnecessarily psychotic? Yet, when other nations show documentaries about their nation's destruction, retribution is rendered and their villainous viewpoint is presented as patriotic. Double standard and continuously slandered. Over dinner tables throughout the world, I'm bantered, but in the molding of my existence, my innate greatness resides. Processing truth heals while clarification reveals the lies about my true identity, my purpose, my abilities, and the power I possess inside. The power that ignites when my spirit, mind, soul, and body are totally unified. A spiritual power that reacts because it's physically attached with Mother Earth. The Almighty God created man from the elements and woman from his rib. So I have extra perks. Why is it when astounding information about history is discovered, it's buried in the deepest crevices of the earth or taken to the moon to assure that I remain blind? What is it about me that is so phenomenal yet intimidating to others that they will go through astronomical lengths to hide? Are they afraid that the truth will set me totally free? Are they afraid that freedom will acquaint me to the power that be, a power they cannot control, a power that's mentioned in a hidden original holy scroll, the power source that makes me whole, because the supreme intelligence of the universe is the possessor of my total being and the keeper of all souls. Thank you so much for letting me share that. I just feel so electric. Thank you.
Let's show our sister Ruhamah Badu Yisrael some love. Let's show her some love. Let's show her some love.
Yes.
She has works out there. She actually has a website that's RuhamahPoetress.com. Go out there and check her out. We're now pretty much heading into the break portion where we're going to spin some great tunes. I hope everyone who's tuning in on Facebook, those who are tuning in on YouTube, any of the live streams, I hope that you're enjoying yourself. Thank you for taking the time out to enjoy this event with us and show these great poets some love. They are all doing a phenomenal job. So before we go into the second half, like we always do, we have our great DJ and the creator of the event, Binyamin B. He loves to mix music. Binyamin B is a mixed heritage. He has been a DJ since 1995. He's been on radio for 5 years. Born and raised in Brooklyn, Binyamin is a charismatic DJ who specializes in old school hip hop music, neo soul sounds, and Caribbean music. All about community, Brother Binyamin is a natural when it comes to creating a unifying and empowering vibe that many can benefit from. With no further ado, here's my Aki, Binyamin B. Go ahead and spin them records, DJ.
Yes. So once again, thanking everybody for tuning in this evening with the Black Poet Batters. So once again, just give it up for all of those that performed thus far. We're just gonna give you a little bit of music right now. Everybody get an opportunity to go get a glass of water, just go whatever it is. Just enjoy the music. Also, we're gonna put the link because some of these poets here and some of the poets in the collective, we put together an anthology. So we're gonna put the link in the chat on the Facebook as well as YouTube, so you can while we're playing some music, you go check out that book. Make a couple of purchases to support the group as well. Also, once again, if you're on Facebook, you can send us those stars if you want to donate to the cause as well to help things keep going. So once again, we're gonna put that link so you can support that book, but you can also send those stars on Facebook as well.
Watch out for the vampire who will sneak up in the dark. Watch out for the big time thief who claim say that them smart. They're bringing in the crack and the gun to come and shove the youth them heart. Murder and red. When you roll a look down on a tea bread. I hear an ex you dead. Whoa. Murder and red. Sneaking under man feet. A revelation time, check the signs of the time. You know to leave. When you saw the youth, they let go out the street and you know say things now go sweet. Man a hustle, man a shuffle, hungry belly, they are yard, can't find food to eat. Red and red. Oh, what a night. What a night, what a night. Oh gosh, what a night. I feel good when you're wrapped up in my arms, dancing to a reggae song. Feel good, I feel good, cause your perfume isn't loud, and only I can talk about. Feel good, you feel like velvet rubbing over my skin. When your hair dances under my chin, wish we were alone, baby.
So once again, we put that link for the book for the anthology from some of the poets that you see performing tonight, as well as the entire collective. So make sure you support that anthology. Also, while you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, just hit that like, hit that subscribe, and share with your family and your friends.
Leave them behind, don't let it show. Go baby, go baby, go baby, go baby, go. I feel good when you're wrapped up in my arms, dancing to a reggae song. Feel good, I feel. This is a serious time, violence and crime, and up here gunting the youths them up on their mind. Oh, them bust it when rain a fall. You know, say them no care, them your youth. Bust it all when sun a shine. Oh, you know see a pure juvenile. Yeah, I'ma lock the big guns out the street. And them a bust it up. Oh, where them get it from? Nobody know. The father was was a killer. Well, I saved on them grow. Oh, I know me can't sleep. No matter how me try to do it, me can't sleep. I play a gunshot a beat, me can't sleep. No matter how me try to do it, me can't. These are the things I see. I play a gunshot a beat.
As I open my eyes, oh, I give thanks to life.
As the days go by, yeah. Out comes the sun, shining on my face again. Grades get me high so I can meditate. Oh, dreams of brighter days. Highest grades we blaze. Dreams of brighter days. Giving thanks, giving thanks, giving thanks. As the days goes by, giving thanks and praise.
Got a big bright smile, but my days are dark. Hungry till I can barely walk. Oh, don't watch the look on my face. No, don't have no food and my cupboard's dry. Only God knows how I get by. Oh, don't watch the look on my face. No, she's the sweetest thing that you've ever seen. Selling her body wasn't in her dreams. No, don't watch the look on her face. No, because we have a pleasant look. If you don't know the story, don't judge the book. Please don't watch the look on my face. No, even though I smile, it is only for a while. My tears could fill the river Nile, but I sweep my troubles underneath my pride. Yes, I'm gonna smile, though it's only for a while. Till my worries subside, I will sweep my troubles underneath my pride.
Talk about love, talk about trust, talk about forever, baby. Talk about us. I give you my word, stick to my guns. Believe me when I say it, baby. It's just begun. You don't understand, oh girl, the full intent of my plan. But baby, I wanna be your sole provider. And baby,
Where we are going, for our sake I make this plea. For the seed some are sowing, destroys peace and unity. And it's showing, it is growing. Peace and love in any language will remain one and the same. Brother in the world, no stoppage to the calling of your name. Cause it's worthy, Almighty. Let's all rejoice in songs and say, El Shaddai, here and die, like a child, let all supply,
there are lots of signs in life, some that you may not like. You could be living this minute, the next minute you're gone away. Hold up your heads, my brothers. Be conscious, my sisters. And by your works you shall surely be paid. Never get to miss the man with the anger, the one who's got the tiger, the one who sits high and he looks down low. And if you ever miss the man with the anger, the one who's got the tiger, then you'll be someone that he don't know.
Say a prayer and chant a song. Prayer that may keep the evil calm.
When you have trouble, don't cry. Oh no, no. Just remember that God is standing by. Hold on, yeah. When you have heartaches, don't cry. Oh no. Just remember that God is standing by. Sometime when your burden is down, just remember God is standing by. Thank you, Lord. So there's no need to cry. Oh.
Watching the time how my people are moving and murmuring to myself, wish I never had to be the way I see this world running. Shouldn't have to be, cause now every man's cup is filled with hate and overflowing. Father, I love things are going round here. It's wickeder than before. It really checks that we could have run things, but it don't look so anymore. No, come down, Father, come down. Come down, Father, come down. Whenever you come down, Father, come down. Hey, come down, Father, beg you come down. In my heart, I know that you won't let your chosen people suffer. I know you'll never let us down. No. Many times I could have picked up a gun, I could have go out the street and play big gun. That's no fun, no. Sure ain't no fun, oh no. Cause I think what would happen if the other man thinks the same? Then bullets fall like rain. It's no fun, no. No, it's no fun. Oh, I see greed and I see selfishness. Every man is for himself. Only you can talk to them, Father, cause they listen to no one else, no. Come down, Father, come down. I beg you, come down, Father, come down, Lord.
Oh, no, I never been someone shy until I seen your eyes. Still I had to try, yeah. Oh yes, let me get my words right and then approach you. When I treat you like a man is supposed to, you'll never have to cry. No, I know everyone can relate to when they find a special someone. And she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind, no. The way she moves to her own beat.
Once again, we thank everybody for tuning in, keeping it locked this evening. Just give you a little bit of musical break right there. We thank everybody for tuning in. So make sure you hit that like if you're watching on Facebook, or hit the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Also share it with your family and your friends. Also, we put that link for the book from the poets some of the poets that you see performing tonight, but we have a large collective of over 20 poets that have come together since we started, last year, July 2020. So some of those poets got together, put forth an anthology, so that link is in the chats on YouTube and Facebook. So we encourage everybody to support that book. So once again, we thank everybody for tuning in and keeping it locked this evening, wherever you may be watching throughout the world. But we're going to turn back into the hands of our hosts. Once again, we just give you a little bit of music, and we give you some more music when we close out the show as well. And also stay tuned for that cipher from everybody that you heard performing as well this evening. So once again, just going to turn it back into the hands of our host for this evening, Z Binyamin, as well as Hermina.
I told her, I hope everyone is doing well and feeling well out there. But before we go into this second half, I'd like to reiterate on a couple of things that Binyamin brought up. Don't forget, look in the chats, look at the link. That's a book by some of the poets who are performing tonight and some who aren't here tonight. A collective, a compilation of poetry. It's the Black Poet Matters Poetic Anthology for the Times. Click on that link. You want to support the artists, you want to just show your support, go ahead and click. Nice buy. Also, a couple of things to reiterate on. Hopefully some more links to get posted. A lot of poets within the group tonight, they have certain websites and works that they do. So if you're interested, we will have those links posted and we can show all these phenomenal poets some love. Again, thank you all for tuning in, and we're finna go into the second half. So with no further ado, we're gonna bring up Crystal Cauley. Crystal Cauley is a native of Hendersonville, North Carolina, and she had the first Black art exhibition in her city in March of 2019. Crystal founded the Black Businesses Network of Western North Carolina and Black History Collective of Henderson County, North Carolina on June 11th. Crystal had a panel that addressed racial disparities that was successful. Crystal defines herself as a cultural trailblazer and desires to bring unity to her city. And let's pray that she continues to do that. And no further ado, let's let our sister take the floor. It's all yours, Crystal.
Thank you. I'm just doing one poem, and it's to pay homage to our ancestors who are in many burial grounds throughout the United States that have unmarked graves, and that
as your day unfolds, challenge what the future holds. Try and keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tears. Go ahead, release your fears. Stand up and be counted. Don't be ashamed to cry. You gotta be bad. You gotta be bold. You gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard. You gotta be tough. You gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool. You gotta be calm. You gotta stay together. All I know, love will save the day. Herald what your mother said. Read the books your father read. Trying to solve the puzzle.
Okay, so I'll go into my one poem. I have my daughter holding the phone. Hey. The unmarked graves of slaves speaking to the rhythm of my soul. I am dancing to stories of shackled spirits never told. Heavily weighted cemetery whispers, their lives are valued more than gold, dancing for stories never sold. I dance to this beat, honoring the life of the enslaved with movements of my feet. My ancestors are dancing for you through me. I have the most attentive and focused spirits, watching and clapping, the audience you can't see. Unmarked, yet we do not take a moment of silence to respectfully remember them. Unmarked, yet we do not honor them like the fallen soldier. Unmarked, yet we do not visit them and lay flowers on their graves, paying homage to the enslaved. The inhaled hope for unlived dreams, held on from birth till death. The first time they were free was after the last exhaled breath. Their dreams held in bondage till life expired. Our mission in life is to continue to reach higher, dance for them, dance to inspire. This poem, like I was saying earlier, it was written to pay homage to our ancestors who are in many burial grounds throughout the United States, burial grounds that aren't well kept. And so this poem was written by me 2 months ago, and it was performed in a graveyard and there was a dancer dancing, paying homage to our ancestors. It's very beautiful. If you would like to look at the video, please go to Black History Collective of Henderson County, North Carolina. Thank you.
Let's show some love for our sister. Let's show some love for our sister.
Indeed, beautiful, beautiful homage to our ancestors. And on that note, I would like to welcome Ryan O'Neal. Ryan is an artist, was born in Kingston, Jamaica, but spent roughly half of his childhood living in Toronto, Canada, where he's currently based. He champions his multicultural experience, and his work takes heavy cues from Caribbean artistic expressions. Ryan aims to create a bridge between reality and fantasy through his work. His personal aesthetic is often dreamy while retaining a foot in realism, and takes heavy cues from the organic styles of expression seen in the art of the Caribbean and European Impressionism. His writing is packed with vivid imagery and a touch of magical realism while exploring contemporary slices of life. That's poetic within itself. In all of his work, Ryan aims to create the world he wants to live in. His book, Ritual and Ruin, is a vibrant poetic journey that explores a migrant, a melancholy, millennial romance, and the formation of identity through rich poetry paired with a collection of digitally distorted original photography. Ryan O'Neal portrays the dissonance and beauty of multiculturalism in his sensational debut publication. You could tell that this is indeed a poet. Please let us welcome Ryan O'Neal.
Vanna in a dancehall style. I love you like mango. Better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. Me say me love you like mango. I better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. Tell you what I want to. Need a minute of your time. Look at me closely, coming and tell you no lie. Won't compete with no other. Where you feel like me not try. Such a sweetie skin clean, well meant to clear up your signals. Me love you like mango. Better you give me some loving. See how far we can go.
Yes, yes. Well, we're going to move from mango and go right into some more food, but a different type of food. This just came in the mail today. Really happy to get it. And since this group has blessed me with some soul food that I can read, and hopefully you should go and get and read too, and put that back in the frame. Look at it. Look how beautiful. Since that has come and blessed me with some soul food, I figured that I return the favor. My name is Ryan O'Neal. Thank you for the introduction. And tonight I welcome you to my restaurant. I have 4 tasty poems for you. We're going to start off with an appetizer. And some of you may like it, some of you may not. Often people call it an aphrodisiac. But we'll see how this certain dish works with you. This is oysters, or how did she make you feel? It was more like the first time I put the shell to my lips and felt the strange jelly creature they told me was an oyster swim past my tongue to slide down my throat. Brine and pepper, citrus, salt, and the sea staining an esophagus. All for the cool, of course. All for the sexy, all for the name of adventure and Aphrodite. It was kind of like the forward momentum of my stomach rising against the alien, turning itself over, kicking to escape the poison, or maybe to spare the promise and pain from extra fire in my veins. It's kind of like how even after the trauma and before I had time to notice the years change, I got to shucking and slurping the cold syrup down, in love with the curious feeling, like I couldn't remember what I found in that first taste. So that is the appetizer. Time is of the essence, so I'm going to keep it moving. And for the second course, I'm going to give you something light too. So I know when you go into a restaurant and it's a new restaurant, you want a reason to feel, like you can trust the chef. And in order to show you that, I'm going to show you how I learned how to cook. This is life lesson 532. My father is a legend with the knife. And with these words, I am trying to be his son. I once saw him unsheath his blade, slash 3 times, dance around the stove and close his eyes while the air around him boiled before he fed me through voodoo. So I once grabbed a pen, slashed 3 times, danced around the table and closed my eyes while the words crackled and burned to cloud the air before feeding the paper from the ashes. Now, we're moving right along in the meal and hopefully, you're getting like something in your belly, but now you want the main course. You want something hearty, something to stick to your ribs. And I think I have just the thing for you. My favorite thing to cook and also one of my favorite things to eat. Enjoy some good stew. My love is all about that slow boil, the near forgotten pot of braised meat, the golden bubbles popping at the surface, the smell of thyme, the chunks of yam, the gently spiced air. My love is something imperfect, too messy to consume with hands, too sweet to leave bits on the plate for the ants to try at. To you, my love might feel like rum instead of wine, like stew to the burgers you normally crave when hunger comes creeping in through a wasted afternoon, like a sea to your mountain peaks, like purple breaking through the monochrome Saturday, like something new on your taste buds. I want to share this with you. I want to feel fire when our lips touch, or maybe electricity surging through our network of veins. From the rainforest damp in your shoes to the beast at your center to wandering fingers, I want to warm your insides. Like thick gravy coating your guts, ending hunger, like steam beating the pot cover, like the burst of flavor begging to escape. I want to open a lid, scoop something out for unfamiliar, plate my love with silverware on your table, hold hands while we say grace, and feed you for days on something sweet like cooked food. And now with that in your belly, all you really have space for is some dessert, something sweet. And I have something very sweet, maybe even a little bit too sweet. This is Sugar Rush. The girl is sweet like coconut water. Fresh mango juice dripping from pierced orange skin like rum, which is also fire. Sweet holy water bled from the sides of cane stalks, crystals hardened by the cutlass swipe at its feet, sweet like the sunshine that baked the sugar and gave the heat to make this juice to liquor. Watch me build the Tower of Babel with popsicle sticks, praying that the soft strings of candy floss I'm using to tie it together will hold my weight and carry me higher than fantasy so I can kiss the sky, so I can taste the sweet marshmallow clouds and bite the fluff that gives me cavities while I sleep. Imagine placing a piece of chocolate on your tongue and resting while it melts Black River over taste buds. Imagine the coffee mixed with milk and brown sugar cubes waiting under the soft foam and cocoa butters covering. Lick your lips in anticipation of slow rising headaches, reminding you people shouldn't have this much sweet in them at one time. The girl so sweet till you have to twist your face in anger. Flip a bird to the doctors and ignore the diabetes warning droning in the back of your head because your thoughts were something honeyed and you burned holes in your lips trying to drink it in. Watch me as this glucose spreads through my veins. Watch me as I make Willy Wonka hide his face in insipid shame and think of the strawberry syrup streams and the animal crackers grazing at its shores. Think of a creme brulee with a shot of espresso. Think of fruit punch tinkling my insides, kissing my guts guava pink. See how this sugar seeps through my flesh and see how it exits with a smile. Now imagine pink bubbles popping to stick to lips as I'm chewing over thoughts like soft toffee. As she blows sweet plastic globes, think about how the candlelight flickers on the wall burns bright orange sunset in the room. Think of being drunk off the candied smoke in the air, her dimly lit body, her bubblegum, and understand sweetness. Oh, people, the kitchen is getting hot. It's about time I turn off the stove and bid you all a good night. But I hope you didn't eat too much because we still have more coming. And before I sign off, people, remember, soul food, get it full your belly. Thank you very much, everyone. I can't wait to see you again. Can't wait to see you again. Maybe next month, who knows?
Let's show our artistic, crafty brothers some love right there. Let's show, I'm full. Let's show them some love. Well, let's keep this event going. We have a little gap in the lineup, and before we bring in the final poet to fill in some time and gap, I hope everyone wouldn't mind if I try to squeeze one poem in just to fill out some time. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So, no bio or anything needed. I'm Z Binyamin. I just want to say I'm thankful to be a part of these events. I get to congregate and be in camaraderie with you all. All of you are beautiful and you're great. I just love the work, and I'm still tapping into my poetic side, just from deviating from just being a rapper. But this poem that I'm going to give you guys is one that's in the book, and it's titled "There's Nothing New Under the Sun." Shlomo said, "There's nothing new under the sun. Grass grows, water moves, and time goes. Birth happens and death follows in every time zone. Civilizations strive, time flies, babies cry, birds fly, wells dry, flowers blossom. Yehovah is awesome. There's nothing new under the sun. Man-made works turn to rubble, pros, cons, ups and downs, rewards and trouble. Foundation shifts, liquefy, corrode, and crumble. Man-made works turn to rubble, pros, cons, ups, downs, rewards, and trouble. There's nothing new under the sun. Healing stones to no effect, idolatry, worship, and disconnect, fishers and hunters, spiritual prophets who fish and net, the wicked with no regard who hiss and fret, the injustices in society, the disrespect, systematic plots, neglect, direct or indirect, oral communication or internet, bartering system or written check, walk 1,000 miles or trips and jets. There's nothing new under the sun. JJ didn't say the old law was done away with, like Yehovah word change. Isn't there still rain? Righteous or not, isn't there still pain? Walking in religion, isn't there still lane? Those words Yahs didn't blot out, isn't there still fame? Even in captivity, isn't there still gain? When I say this, I'm not talking about the earth. There's nothing new under the sun. My brother killed me, Abel. A man tried to take my wife, Avraham. My son tricked me, Iskak. My people got over on me, Yaakov. I'm not ready to lead, Moshe. Death, idolatry, deceit, insecurities is okay. Those things happen then as they do today. There's nothing new under the sun. Contention within a nation, conviction and divination, genocides and decimation, pestilences, inflammation, real or imitation, real or simulated, red pill, blue pill, captivity within the matrix, Assyria, Babylon, Persia, Rome, America, every destination. There's nothing new under the sun. So no more who deserves to leave your side, no matter how little or hard you try, no matter how strong your spirit is, weak or you fall and cry, no matter the truths you hear or get tricked by a foreign lie, no matter how much pain you take, that your only option is to die, no matter how many times you fall short and trouble soon arise, no matter how many sunrise and sunsets you see come across the sky, remember you're still alive. Keep the Most High prevalent in your mind. You're human, not God. There's nothing new under the sun. And I just wanted to give that one piece for you all. But not to take away from you guys, and no further ado, I'm finna introduce the final poet, Mr. Shareef Ali. Shareef Ali is a Brooklyn-bred poet with Guinean roots. Whether in a cipher or in a slam team, Shareef's breathtaking wordplay and colorful metaphors separate him from the crowd. His book, Ghetto Spider, and his music, Walking Atoms, are just a taste of his artistry. No further ado, pass it to my Ak, Shareef Ali.
Check.
We've not rejoiced to conquer and conquering. Balance and respect is from whence I come in. I see that is the Almighty King. First one fit to them soul out scheming. All come ancient future man come feeling. Trump reptilian lion serpent and no ricochet nothing. Love for you one another real something. Oh, you so careless in angle in these things. The Greco-Roman tradition is about this thing. Black Nazarene lion, earth fire king.
All right. So let's get started. Let's get right into it. It's been a while since I've been on here. I think last October, last November, the last time I was on here. So y'all guys published a book without me, but that's all good. Maybe next time I get into it. So yeah, I'll just jump into whatever piece that comes to my mind. So got a bunch of stuff. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. So yeah, so it goes like this. 3/4 water, equatorial goddaughter. Black sun skin, she's thin in the waistline. Zigzag design, she's Sanskrit and ion. Mystic is sadistics, her ballistics be a neon. These are the things these chicks usually be on. Deeper than squares, she's an embryonic hypnotism, exorcism, realism, metaphase parallelism, handmade seducer, Medusa of your biorhythms, broke back rapper, S&M practice, Alistair Crowley axis, Benzem like an axis, satanic demons, beaming up the semen, dreaming up synapses, universe collapses, diverted Icarus, click clack the clitoris, bring back promiscuous, French kiss the licorice, Pythagoras inverted, harmonic sex scenes, mental propulsion, perverted X-Men, 3/4 water, equatorial goddaughter, black sun skin, she's thin in the waistline. Anyway, so got a lot of stuff in my head. So I'm just gonna keep going. Your time is ticking. Your time is ticking. And the Bush babies came out to play. Nomads and heresies, cloaks and daggers, concussed anthropods, anthropomorphic collision, concluded Christ is your savior. Codeine is your savior. AstraZeneca is your savior. Keep your vaccines in your Bibles. Keep your insurrections, erections, infections, injections. Keep your tuxedo accolades as we escalate from firing squads, firing quads, quad repel, excel, and filter through pop smoke as we pop smoke for all the oak trees, all the Philandro Castillos, all the Sandra Bland that hang from COVID-16, 19 Negroes named Yeezy and Hova with middle school rhyme schemes. I mean, damn, God is colorblind, but I'm a colored mind. I ink dot magenta, CRISPR gene manipulate placentas, think of the different cloth, slick Rick without Ross. Pull up without floss, the boss and melatonin, cut from a different stone. Your time is ticking like metronomes. Get the got my face. Read my melanome. I'm a metrodome and hollow bones, hollow home, the bachelor, the OB1, the OB Trice, the Oh He's Nice, soundtrack and spice, written in mums and split the world through esophagus pipes. Your time is ticking. Your time is ticking. It's like 1 for the money and 2 for the oxtail. The homies pack gas, best believe that we got bail. It's like, all right, trying to contain my energy here. So I got a piece I was working on. I kind of finalized the piece. I think it goes like this. The piece goes. Dear you, I want to touch you open, pour you in mirror, slip a miracle inside your enzymes, paste your poison palms, press my palms against your breast so you can feel dimensions when I breathe. Breathe me in carbon, breathe me in guise, heal my humanity. You're my double fraction turned sideways in dawn, so sweet, so promising like eyes of victory. Our time is here, right now. This life, this chance, this chant, this memory is ours. I will not judge you. I will hold you. No, I will ride you in tune, evacuate you in bloom, elevate you in doom. You're an escapade, and I want to hurl you against the sky, split you open, and watch you dance in rainbow. Dear you, this is our time. This is our candlelight. This is our sex traffic interlude. This is our strawberry, our caramel, late night tune dripping, double dipping cassava hips, Julie mango tongue kissing. Squirm for me, woman. Turn for me, woman. Twirl for me, woman. Let them know you are forever. You are waves clashing against hollow trees. You are trees with wings. You are wings clashing against light. You are light, remembered in ciphers. I want to feel for you. I want to feel you I want to feel you in my clavicle. I want to bend you in quattro, play you in accordion, play you in Acadian, squeeze you like Jamaica through your lungs, make you dip and buckle, make your thighs supple, make your burden dissipate and cringe in Acadia, hold you swollen, hold you woven, hold you chosen, spin you in a galaxy so tight we disappear like distance. Dear you, it is time. I got another piece I want to do. Last piece I want to do. It's called Inertia. Yes, the piece is called Inertia. All right, here we go. Dreams are streams, silence of inertia, rounds of service, silence of Valamurdio Savior, in the palace of Persia, milk the Minerva, Ursa, minor, versa, vocals are squeezed, make it freeze and swerve ya, hail to the Romans, 666 to the omen, give me land like a yeoman, pay it like the omen, gods from Giza, and son of Quasar, hate Caesar, and Zenga Hatshepsut, Fatima, murder on a pivot, strange fruits to a digit, kings to a zoom, a half pasha Uma, black like a puma, black strapped in dunyas, I least you read priest voodoo, hoodoo, things that you do, my inner beast, release, seize, peace, voodoo, Aki to this cocky Kawasaki like a sea do, eye to the sky, make you see like we do, Anubis to the Rubiks, pubics to the cubics, female in the glucus, return of the Khufu, caves in the Kufi, bird in a raised machine between page, between Eam and the sage, hold a gaze like a Sufi, Isaac to your Newton, chef to your Cuban, links to his sphinx, he thinks ink and sphincter, illest of all thinkers, thinks in dark spaces, incarcerated, dark faces, dark races, breaking bad to the gun callus, my apparatus, supreme verb space lattice, Bendis mic like an open worm face Alice, straight Nubian, African chant chalice, dreams of streams, silence of an Ursha, rhymes of service, silence of Valamurdio Savior, in the palace of Persia, milk the Minerva, Ursa, minor, versa, vocals of squeeze, make a freeze, a swerve ya, speak of Mogadishu, Krishnu, Vishnu, bulletproof, Alexander dance and kiss you, return of Malcolm, El Haj Malik, Earth cycle, my roster, every time we speak in cipher, cycle 720, try to reach many, vocal froze, Opamando closed from the emperor's clothes to the emperor's hose, we hear the expose, parallel in fifth, paradigmal griff, paramorphing time like dimension shift, ayo, dreams of streams, silence of an Ursha, rhymes of service, silence of Valamurdio Savior, in the palace of Persia, milk the Minerva, Ursa, minor, versa, vocals of squeeze, make a freeze and swerve ya. Peace.
Let's show our brothers some love. The wordplay. Let's show our brothers some love. As we go forward, I would like to pass it to the lovely host and let her reiterate on a few things, and also just to dial us back into the cipher that's coming up. Hermina, may you please take it for me?
Okay. Thank you very much. And that concludes our second portion of the segment. And as Binyamin mentioned, that the cipher is coming up. Any word, Binyamin, on the cipher that you want to add?
No, just once
Preparing
again,
our audience.
yes, this is the portion of our show where we do our cipher to close out our show. We're just gonna get one line from all the poets who performed this evening from start to finish. So once again, we're just gonna get one line from all of the poets who performed this evening. And once again, we thank everybody for tuning in once again and throughout this evening. Also, as it was mentioned earlier, we do have a book for this collective, so you could just go out there and purchase it. I saw that Ryan got his copy already. He held his up. We're gonna also probably do some giveaways, not tonight, but for the next session, which is going to be actually in June, which is actually going to coincide with Juneteenth, off by a day, but definitely going to be coinciding with Juneteenth next month. And also we're going to have, we had Women's Month a few months ago where we had an all-female cast for those that watched that a few months ago. So next month we're going to be putting together an all-male cast from our performers and our collective, so look out for that. And then July will be our 1 year anniversary of doing this event, and things are opening up, so we don't know, maybe we'll do a little live in-person anniversary event in July. I got to talk to some of my people in the background, but just getting right back to the show this evening. This is the portion of the show where we do the cipher as we close out our show. So we're going to turn it back over to our host. They're going to call them up one by one from start to finish, and we're going to get one line from our poets this evening.
Praise yeah. Well, we're going to get a one line for each of the participants tonight. And again, to reiterate it on it, great job. You all did well. And we'll go first with our brother Lavan.
Thank you. The racist faces perpetrate hate in all the world's spaces.
And our sister Diana.
Thank you. Who taught you that slavery is your only history and not that you may have descended from royalty originally?
And our brother Stacey.
He had to step out so he couldn't make the cipher.
Okay.
He take his place.
All right. Well, our beautiful sister Ruhamah.
All right. And today their knees are against the neck of brothers like Brother Floyd. But Floyd is now has served his purpose, and he's now residing with the Lord.
And also a piece from our sister Crystal.
Black pride, Black love, and making Black creations, restoring the power of the Black liberation.
And our just desserts from our brother Ryan O'Neill.
The girl sweet like coconut water, fresh mango juice dripping from pierced orange skin.
And then, not last but not least at all, our brother Shareef Ali.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Hope time has filled your blossoms. We are here for memories, and ours are beautiful.
Leaving with my final words before I pass it back to the host, I would like to thank everyone who tuned in online. A big shout out and a great hand to all the poets who took place to the event, tonight's events. Shout out to Binyamin for putting it together, and shout out to my beautiful host, Hermina. And those are my final words before I pass it over to her and we give it back to Binyamin.
Thank you very much for all of you who came together and participated in sharing what matters to you, and we and the audience, I am pretty sure, are able to understand and are captivated by your words, as I was. So peace and blessings, and thank you once again.
Again, give it up for all the poets who performed this evening. God's blessing on all of them, and once again, God blessings on all of everybody out there that was watching and paying attention this evening. Just feel free to once again share those videos on Facebook as well as on YouTube. So get our subscriptions up, get our likes up on these videos, and once again, just want to keep it locked, get those notifications ready, because once again, next month, as we mentioned not too long ago, we'll be honoring Juneteenth, but our next session will be actually on June 20th, the day after Juneteenth. But next month theme will be Juneteenth. Also, we're going to be doing an all-male cast for next month, so you will definitely want to keep it locked for that. Also, everybody, once again, we'll put some of the links once again in the chat room, so you can purchase that anthology that we put together. Ryan, just hold that book up, so everybody can see. That's the book right there. It's an official book, not just a virtual book. It's an official book. So many of the poets that you heard tonight, as well as the entire collective, they're in that book. Shareef will be in the next one. We just got to make sure that we keep him awake so he can be in the next one. But definitely, it's open for all of our poets in the collective. Once again, we also want to thank our new performers this evening, Stacey Williams, as well as to Diana Beskin. Give it up for them. They just jumped right into the fire pan right away, their first time performing this evening. So once again, anybody out there, I should say everybody, let me just take off to anybody, but those out there that have been watching that are poets, if you want to perform, just feel free to contact us, and somewhere along the line, we get you in there. We definitely appreciate all of the support from the poets and non-poets that watch. Once again, we do ask for your support in purchasing the book. Also, we'll put the Eventbrite link for those that just want to make a monetary donation for this cause, as all of this helps us. Once things open up, we can get back out there once again and do a live event. So just gonna end off the show with some music, get everybody settled once again. We're gonna put those links out there in the chat room as we continue to rock out and groove. And once again, see you, God willing, June 20th.
so many things that's held us down. But now it looks like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long, long way to go. And where we'll end up, I don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're putting our show together. We're polishing up our act. And if you've ever been held down before, I know you refuse to be held down anymore. Well, don't you let nothing, nothing stand in your way. I want y'all to listen, listen to every word I say, every word I say. Ain't no stopping us now. We're rolling up. Ain't no stopping us now. We got the grip.
Once again, just gonna end off the show the musical treatment. We see the co-founder, co-creator, co-producer of this event out there. He goes by the name of Christopher D. Sims, aka UniverSouLove. We're gonna ask him to turn his mic on real quick. He could say something to the audience real quick. He's definitely been there from day one and helping this event to continue to move forward. So, just gonna turn it over real quick to Christopher.
No doubt, brother. Peace, Binyamin. Yeah, thanks, man. Definitely been watching tonight and really enjoyed the show. It's getting better and better, and the talent is getting better and better. Pretty fortunate to have everybody rocking out with us. Definitely appreciate it. This platform is yours, just like it is ours. So, looking forward to next month's show, an all-male cast, I'll say. And the brothers showing love to the sisters, no doubt. Like the sisters show love to the brothers. So, totally looking forward to that show. And then in July, I'm definitely all for, you mentioned earlier, a live show with us physically, which will be our first in July. And I can't believe July will make a year. It's been kind of fast, but full of amazing poetry. And I'll fly out to NYC. I'll fly out to the boroughs myself just to be there. So yeah, let's talk about it. Thanks everybody for tuning in, for joining us, and continuing to make Black Poet Matters a success online. Peace.
gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. 'Cause I heard all the people saying, get down on it. Come on and get down on it. If you really want it, get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Baby, baby. Get on it. I say people. What you gonna do? You got it.
No sleep last night. Been dreaming of you. Please hold me tight. 'Cause I can't help the way that I feel. I just can't help the way that I feel. Deep in the night, you took my heart. Now danger's inside. 'Cause I can't help the way that I feel. I just can't help the way that I feel. Baby, you make my love come down. Ooh, you make my love come down. Make it go all the way down. Just simply. Ah, you make my love come down. Baby, you make my
She touched by me in painted on jeans. And old head turned 'cause she was the cream. In the blink of an eye, I knew her number and her name. Yeah. She said I was the tiger she wanted to tame. Caribbean queen, now we're sharing the same dream. And our hearts, they're beating one. No more love on the run. I lose my cool when she steps in the room. And I get so excited just from her perfume. Electric eyes that you can't ignore. And passion burns you like never before. I was in search of a good time, just running my game, yeah. Love was the furthest from my mind, yeah. Caribbean queen, now we're sharing the same dream. The moves and our hearts, they're beating one. No more love on the run. Now we're sharing the same dream. The moves and our hearts, they're beating one. No more love on the
Yes, and once again, come to the conclusion of another episode of the Black Poet Matters. So once again, just feel free to support that anthology that we have, as well as the books from all of the poets who performed this evening. Ruhamah herself has a book Ruhamah has a few books, and Lavan himself has a few books, as well as Ryan, who pulled from earlier. He has a book out there, so support their books as well as the overall anthology from everybody that's performed. So once again, we just come to the conclusion of another episode of this show. Until next time, saying God bless, and hopefully to see everybody once again next month.